Good morning, everyone. Um, we're going to start sitting, just sitting, just sitting in the way that makes sense for you. Maybe you're up on a block or up on a blanket. Um, Maybe you are sitting with straight legs. You know what to do. So let's start there. Let's start by sitting well and feeling the breath. So today we're going to do kind of a little bit of a lot of things, but I wanted to start with this just a little bit of breath work with a lot of the recent events and ongoing events that are happening. I've noticed that I had been really struggling to take a deep breath, and I felt it particularly in the solar plexus, right here above the belly button. And interestingly, this is also the area of the third chakra. It is one of the seats of emotion. And the third chakra is about our instincts. And it's all about fight or flight or freeze. And so when um, kind of the poop hits the fan and we're taking in a lot of things that can make us either fearful or worried or concerned or sad, we can feel that in this area, this third chakra. Another interesting thing about the third chakra and the solar plexus is that I've heard it referenced as the second brain where we process emotions. So I wanted to start there with one hand at the solar plexus, either right or left hand, either one is okay. And then the second hand at the heart. And then close the eyes. And as you take a deep breath in, feel the lower hand just expand out softly, and then the chest expand up and out. And as you exhale, the chest softens and that upper belly softens, and the lower belly also involved, but here we're focusing on that upper belly. And so just simply inhale and exhale it out. And keep that going and notice if it is easy to expand through this area of the belly, or if it feels really tight, or if you feel most of the breath in the chest and not in the belly. Just kind of notice it, but don't force anything. I had a conversation with a woman yesterday that I respect, and she said, bless everything that you are doing, whether it's eating a cookie or breathing, and I'm paraphrasing here, so that the heart knows that you are well. And so with this breath, I don't want it to be forced. I want your heart to know that it is okay to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and to relax this seat of instinct. Soften the jaw and the face. Good. Few more here. And with the hands still remaining there, go ahead and let the chin drop down toward chest, always mindful of your neck, and keep the breathing going. Let the head be heavy. Good. And then raise the head up. Release the hands, roll your shoulders. And then I want to just touch on one other principle before we get going. And that is this whole neck thing, right? So, a lot of times, if we bring the arm up in a pose, say triangle pose, we look up and we kind of strain this whole neck area. So, I wanted to start with a little bit of play here while we're seated and switch out the legs if they're getting cranky. And I want you to just try. So, right, this whole complex of dropping down. So, first, let the chest rise, feel the collarbones move to the side, and then take one hand to the upper chest just to rest it there to keep it in place. And then draw the head back as if you could press the head back into a wall, just the back of the head. So, don't lift the chin, just press it back and notice what that does to the chest, and then just relax. And then press the head back and relax. This time, I want you to press the head back and then turn and look over one shoulder. Don't force it again, don't go into pain. Keep the head back and turn the other way. And then take it center. The hand on the chest is simply feedback, and then relax and let go. Good. So once again, you're going to draw. It's like you're taking these corners, the neck and the corners of the jaw, and just drawing them back. You can even take one finger to each edge of the jaw and just pretend that you could pull that back, and then turn the head to one direction. Bring it center, draw that chin complex, that jaw complex back, and turn it the other way. Good. Come center. This time, I want you to take one arm up to the ceiling. The palm is face in. If this hurts the shoulder, go wide. Doesn't matter that it's up straight. And then draw the chin back, draw the neck back, and just look at your arm. And notice if you feel any particular discomfort. If you do, don't look so far to the arm. And then bring it center, let that arm go. Reach the other arm up, draw the chin back, and look at that arm. Yeah. And then bring it center and release. Inhale, both arms up. As you exhale, right hand goes down, left arm goes up. The head is in alignment. You hear me say that all the time. So my chin head isn't forward, my chest isn't collapsed. But now I want you to draw the chin back and just look at the arm. Don't look up, just look at the arm. And then bring the head back, maybe get a little more side stretch, and take both arms up. Switch sides, bring the left hand down. First, find the alignment, bring the chin, neck back, and then look at that arm. And kind of notice if you feel anything. Bring the head back to neutral and go into a deeper stretch. Good. Bring both arms up, both arms to cactus pose. Draw the head back to the imaginary wall. Look at that elbow. Take it center. Bring it to the other elbow. Bring it center. Release those arms. Inhale, reach up. Soft interlace of the fingers to the back of the head. Press the hands into the head. Press the head back into the hands. Maybe look up. Watch for dizziness here if you are prone to that. Don't roll the eyes back. Keep the eyes more centered. That often helps with that kind of dizziness that can come from dropping the head, or don't drop the head. You know what I mean? Supported head looking up. Open the chest. Feel the heart rise up. Feel the chest open up. And then as you exhale, softly drop your chin toward your chest. Don't pull on the hands. And inhale, open up. Exhale, drop the chin down. Good. Last one. Inhale, open. Exhale, chin down. And release it. Release the arms, roll the shoulders out, straighten the legs, everybody. Flex the feet. Find Dandasana, staff pose. When we talk about quadricep thigh strength, this really is an awesome pose for that. You can feel as soon as you engage the legs, flex the feet, you can feel these muscles start to engage above the knee. Make sure that your knees are pointing straight up, your toes are pointing straight up, the hands go to your sides, the shoulders open up, and then just simply draw the head back to that imaginary wall. If you were sitting at a wall, right, you could play with that a little bit as well. Feel that, engage the low belly, take the arms up. Notice if the head let go and dropped forward again. Just set it back into in space. Find your breath. Interlace the hands, press the palms up. Again, watch those wrists and shoulders. Keep those legs active, by the way. And as you exhale, I just want you to bend your knee into your chest, curl, and then press it out and up. Yep. Inhale, curl, or exhale, curl. Inhale, press it up. You don't have to bring that knee that far. Exhale in, inhale up. Got two more. And up, press, press, press. Last one. Squeeze it in and reach it up. Release the hands, release the legs, shake it out, everybody. Roll the shoulders back, engage both legs. Feel those quadricep muscles engage. Inhale, reach up. Interlace the hands, press up. Lift the other leg. Exhale, bring it into chest. Inhale, lift up. It's kind of a really weird cat and cow, right? Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale, bring it in. Two more. Exhale. Last one. Open. Exhale it. Bring the arms up. Hold the leg. Release those arms. Release the legs. Shake it out. Open your shoulders. Good. Bend your, if I'm mirroring here, you would bend your right leg. I'm going to bend my left. I want you to lean back, but don't drop chest, shoulders toward middle. Okay. Keep them open. And then just lift the leg if you can and push it out. Push it out and hold. Now ground the opposite leg, like push that leg into the floor. Woo, feel those quads. Reach up, lift up, everybody. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee to chest. Set the foot down. Release everything. Other leg, bend that. Lift up. When you're ready, reach the arms up. Peel and stretch that leg, but ground the other leg. So the other leg is working almost as hard. Breathe, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee in, set that foot down, and release. Shake it out. Good. I'm going to turn sideways here. So a request for a little bit of core. We're going to work on that just a little bit more. So boat pose, I really like boat pose, but one of the challenges is to keep this body from rounding. So lift up through that body, take the hands behind you, open up shoulders, chest, lean back and just lift the feet and hold. That's all you got to do is hold, right? And then what happens if we let go of the hands? Don't even reach them out. Do you lose this chest and back opening? Or do you need to keep the hands down? From here, take both hands underneath your thighs and try to press your chest toward the legs without moving the legs. Yep. And breathe, everybody. Big tone to the belly. Find your breath. The feet and knees can be together or they can be hips width apart. I've seen it both ways. Reach the arms out. Whew. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the legs. Whoo, and curl on over. Find your breath. So boat pose can be done in so many stages that you can find the spot that works really well for your belly, for your core. So let's do that again, but this time I want you to have a block at the ready. You can even sit it on your lap if you want. Okay, So start again the same way. I want you to lean shoulders and chest open, shoulders back. Feel yourself lift forward. Good. Lift the legs. One, you're here, hands are on the floor. Two, you're releasing and taking the hands to the back thighs. Lift your head. Watch that chin, by the way. If you lift your chin here, you're just going to topple because that head's heavy. So don't do that. Three, you're going to hold your block. And I want you to go opposite sides. So you're going to tap that block to one side and then the other. Yep. Come on, you got this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's do 10 more because these are easy. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center. Release your block. Feet down. Body drapes over. Whew. Stretch out your back, everybody. It's very interesting to me that, again, the different variations of boat pose. I mean, there's so many variations of every yoga pose that we can always find one that challenges us in a different way. All right, I want you to dig your heels into your mat. So if you need to scoot forward a little bit more to the edge of your mat, go ahead and do that. Dig in and then lift up. Take one hand to your chest, take the other hand to your chest. Don't let that chest dive down toward the belly button. You're just going to lean back. You're going to find a spot. Might be just an inch back. It might be 4 or 5 inches back. You're going to feel this belly work. Keep those hands on that chest. Lift one leg and then the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. Can you go back another of an inch? Don't hurt the back here, right? Because this is serious work for the belly. And come on up. Woo. Roll over your legs. Just stretch it out. All right, we're almost done, I promise. Take one block, place it between your shins. Not your thighs, but between your lower legs, between those shins, below the knee. Press into your heels. Take the arms out. I want you to squeeze that block. Come part way down, 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 down. Lift the feet off the floor. Hands come behind the head. So it's this funky. It's not half boat. It's not boat. You can call it 1/3 boat. I don't know what it is, but feel this. Press your belly strong into the floor. Draw your knees toward your chest. Take the legs up to the ceiling. Keep knees bent as you start to lower, but don't touch the floor. Bring them in. Bring the legs up. Come part way down. Bend the knees, but nothing touches. Good. One more. Knees in. Legs up. Part way down, bend the knees, push into your back, everybody. Push, push, push. And then release your feet. Woo. Take your knees toward your chest, release your block. Bring the knees in, hold your right leg in, stretch the left. Oh, switch sides. And you know, right, knee stuff, you don't hold outside, you hold underneath. That's much easier on the knee. I mean, it's good for all of us, knee issues or not. Switch. Switch. Yep, switch. And switch. We're almost done. Switch. And switch. Good. Both knees to chest. Roll over to one side and come on up. Good. Oh, see, we got that out of the way. Want you to lean back again. This time, take the knees wide. My one gal out there, just watch your knees, my girl. You know who you are. And then drop the knees to one side. Go easy. Windshield wipers here. Just stretch. Right. Just getting some movement through the hips, through the legs. And breathe. The next time the knees are over to the left, go ahead and pause. So one knee down, the other leg reaches back. Watch these knees. If this hurts your bottom knee or your lower knee, take a block underneath it so that that thigh is more level instead of the knee dropping down to the floor. Good. So you're here, and I want you to lift the knee off the floor and keep lifting until you feel a good old squeeze right at the back hip. Mhm. Your foot's on the floor, everything else is relaxed, and then release. Good. Squeeze up and hold, and down. Squeeze up and hold. Working some of those muscles right around the hip joint, right? Good. Two more. Squeeze. Last one. Squeeze and hold. See if you can take the hands off the floor. This hurts in any way on this knee, you lower that knee down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Any of you do that without using your hands? That was kind of fun. All right, so we're on the other side. Make sure it's comfortable. You're supported by that hand. It's not the foot coming off the floor, it's the knee. So lift and just find the squeeze right back here and down. Lift up, squeeze, and squeeze. Yep. 3. I think that was really 4, but we'll count this one as 4. 5, squeeze and hold and breathe. Just notice, see if you can take your hands off the floor. Breathe, switch sides, and breathe. Good. So this time a little trickier. Again, watch the knees here. I just want you to see if you can lift your back foot off the floor. We're not going to lift lower. We're just going to lift, hold. So that's going into more of this back part of the hip joint. Lift, hold. Whoo. See if you can take the hands off the floor. Breathe and lower, release. Switch sides. Last one, last side. Just see if you can lift that foot off the floor, hands or no hands. Rock and roll. Breathe and release. Good. Straighten both legs, everybody. Grab one block. Place it between your knees and just squeeze. Whew. And breathe. Take that block lower. Go to second level. Squeeze again. So we're just getting all those muscles lined up again. Working the quads at the same time. And release. All right, so that's all of that. Let's come to hands and knees, everybody. So interesting, one of my dear gals out there asked about hip openers, and most of the current literature, not all, most of the current literature in the yoga world is to not ever use the phrase hip opener because it sends the wrong message. So we want hip mobility, right? We want hip flexion and extension, but hip opening is a whole different thing, and we can all have that conversation another time. So you're on your hands and knees. First thing I want you to do is just press back through the left leg. You can be on elbows, by the way, if the wrists are chatty. Tone in through the belly, lift the leg. And then simply slide that knee in toward chest and press it out. Slide it in. Maybe you look at that knee as it's coming in and see where it goes. You don't have to bring it super far in. Bring it to your level and reach. Good. Last one. Stretch it out and reach. Now kickstand your right leg out. Adjust your right arm, turn sideways. Toes are pointing forward. I want you to feel this hip. And breathe. Bring the arm up to the ceiling. Draw the back of the neck back like you're resting your head on the wall. Take the arm overhead. And then only if you want, look at your arm. If you've lifted your chin, you've gone out of alignment in the neck, chances are. Breathe. Turn the head back to neutral. Reach the arm up. I want you to just rest your hand on that thigh. Push your thigh into your hand. Right? It's so subtle. And yet, where do you feel it? Big, deep breath. Good. Release that hand. Unkickstand, hold the leg. Let's just do balancing table because we're here. Right arm reaches out, left arm reaches out, belly's toned in. We are taking a deep breath. And release both sides, shake it out. So there was a thought that came to me this morning. I was doing a little bit of weights this morning, a little bit of movement. I was listening to some really fun music. And what came to me was, if you feel stuck, move. If you feel stuck, just move. Whatever that means to you, right? Just move and get something flowing, get something flowing. Anyway, so I turned around, we got the right leg back, we got our bellies tucked in, lift the leg, engage through the glutes. Here we go. As you exhale, knee comes in. As you inhale, it reaches out. Stretch it out. Breathe. 3. We got 2 more. 4. Good. 1 more, everybody. 5. Holding and engage. Kickstand out the left leg. I always talk about adjusting that arm. So I want that arm in line with the shoulder, my left arm, but I want it forward so that when I lift, my body weight will shift forward a little bit, right? So then we're shoulder to wrist. Flex the leg, engage the belly, find your breath. Take the arm up, breathe. Take the arm overhead, palm is face down. Draw the head back, maybe look at the arm. It's going to throw your balance, so it's very challenging. Keep the glutes active to help with that. Breathe. And then look neutral. Take the arm up. Release that hand, unkickstand. The toes are now pointing down. Let's go to balancing table this side. Left arm out, right leg out. Woo, use your breath, everybody. Lower the arm, lower the knee, and take a moment just to find your breath, just so I can get a hold of my blocks. Oh, that's the problem when I turn around, it's like props are on one end, I'm on the other end. All right, from here, let's step forward with our right leg. Take the hands on top of your blocks, second level or lower. Don't go high for this one. And start with just an easy stretch of the front of the thigh, okay? So again, interesting, just in my experience and reading and training and all of that stuff, and personal experience, truly. I like to keep the stretch from just going, I call it willy-nilly, right? I don't just dive. If I wanted to, I could take this hip almost to the floor, okay? I don't think that's good for me. I don't think it's good for you. I think some containment of the stretch is appropriate. So that's how I teach it. I keep the back glute engaged. I don't overstretch the front of the hip. I don't want to overstretch the ligaments. This is a hip extension. Hip extension for a lot of people is no more than 15%. That's not a lot of extension. A lot of people have a lot less than that. So we don't force this. We don't push this. We let the stretch happen under control. Okay, it makes sense, I hope. And then breathe. Good. Flip your toes under on the left, lift the knee, re-engage the leg, the quadricep, the front of the hip, the back of the hip. Feel that. Feel all that happening. Good. Draw the inner ankles towards center. In other words, your back leg isn't rolling out to the side. It is straight forward. Both knees straight forward. Woo, hands come to your knee. Squeeze the inner thigh. Lift up. Take the arms up optionally. Breathe. Tone the belly. Hands behind the head. Draw the head into the hands and feel your chest lift. That's all I want you to do. Head to hands. Feel the chest lift. Don't even have to look up. Good. Release it. Take the hands down to the floor. Lower that knee to the floor and release. Just shake. Shake it out. And switch sides. Herein is the challenge of teaching on Zoom, right? Because I want to see what your bodies are doing here. So hear my voice in your head. Go, if Mary could see me right now, what would I be doing? And then do that, okay? All right. So here we are, other side, front knee, front ankle. Here's that right hip extension, right? To stretch one side, we engage the opposing muscle. So I'm going to squeeze the glutes, stretch the front of the hip, let it happen. Again, when we're talking about hip opening, right? For me, in my brain, this is more what we're talking about, kind of a controlled release of the poses. Just feel that nice stretch. Try to keep the chest, shoulders open if you can. When you're ready, flip your toes under, lift the knee, re-engage. And it's interesting because even the re-engagement, and I'm talking a lot because I want you to hold the poses, just so you know. When we talk about re-engaging, right, we don't want to hold the body, the muscles so tight that there's no ease. We want to do that to create stability. So important in yoga, ease and stability. Okay, so here we are, controlled chaos. Tone the belly in, take your hands to your knee, feel the inner ankles draw straight. It's really straight more than in. Take the arms up. Notice, find your breath. Hands come behind your head, pull the head back. Notice how that makes the chest rise. Maybe you look up, maybe not. I didn't even look up on the other side. Good, release, hands down, lower your knee, step the left leg back. Move your blocks out of the way, but keep them up at the front of your mat and find downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Find your breath. Just breathe, everybody. So as we hold downward facing dog, the fingers are spread out. They're not overly spread. I tend to tuck my little tips of my pinky fingers at the edges of my mat. Keep the shoulders open, but press into the thumb and index fingers so you're not just leaning on the outside. Feel the arms extend, but the shoulders engage. Feel the backs of the legs open up. Woo. Try to lift your toes off the floor. Everybody breathe. Take the feet wide on your yoga mat. Walk your hands back. Bend the knees enough. Take the hands up. Come on up. Woo. And roll it out. Roll, roll, roll. Good. Come to standing, grab a block. I'm going to do a few different things with it. Let's start with it just between the thighs. Find your spot. Feet are parallel, knees, backs of the knees are not hyperextending. Just give it a squeeze. And breathe. Yeah, so the issue of hip opening is really kind of come around in the yoga world. You'll find very few teachers that will use that term anymore because of a number of hip injuries that have been happening with yogis. So when we think about hip opening, we want range of motion. We want flexibility, we want mobility, we want stability, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I think I've driven that point home. And you know I love you, you know who I'm talking about. All right, so with this block between our thighs, we give it a good squeeze, maybe 50%, 40% for you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart and come to a little squat, just a little one. Don't go super deep. Think about this chair position, this chair pose position. So we look at the knees, their hips width apart. They're both pretty equally distanced, one from the other. The feet are just about the same. Belly tones in, the chest lifts, right? Hands come to hips, open the shoulders. Draw the head back, just look over one shoulder. How's that feel on the neck? Come back to center, look over the other shoulder and come back. Good, hold this pose. Take the arms out, but draw the shoulder blades back. Tone through the belly, big length through the tailbone. Sit back even more as if you could sit down in a chair right behind you. Breathe. What happens when we hold the poses? What happens, right? Take one hand to heart, take the other hand to heart, lift the heart, lengthen the tailbone. Feel your legs come out anytime that you've had quite enough of this little bit. Lift the toes if you can. Right? So we build strength here. We're holding poses, a little bit more endurance, no pain in the knees. If there is, come higher and then stand all the way up. Big squeeze. Take the block out. I want you to take it between your shins, below the knees. Take it at the second level. Give that block a good squeeze. Notice how it maybe feels different. Okay, you take some yoga classes, they will talk about shins in. It was always a difficult concept for me. But as we squeeze that block, we draw the shins in. And what that does for me is open this pelvis a little bit. I feel the thighs roll in. I feel the sit bones widen. So I think that is where the Anusara is where I heard it the most. Anusara teachers were alluding to or coming to or trying to teach. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Check the feet, check the knees. I just walked my feet in a little bit because they were wide in comparison. Find your breath. Tone through the tailbone. Reach the arms out. Find the chest still lifted, no rounding in the back at all. Squeeze the block, stand all the way up, and exhale, let go. Take the block out. Good. Oh, shake out those legs, everybody. I know for some of you, all the squatting stuff is challenging, so please be kind to yourself. Take your feet a little bit wider, but toe in a little, like not a lot, but just a little from what might be your normal. And then hands to knees, I just want you to sit back. Okay, I'm just kind of like you're thinking about something and you're looking at something on the ground. You want to kind of ponder that a little bit. And with your hands on your knees, I want you to press the knees out, but resist. Just resist. And then try to push the knees in, but resist. So you're really not doing anything. You're just engaging different muscles. If you try to pull the heels of your feet out, you'll feel that even more. And then try to pull the heels in, all isometric work. One more, pull out, pull in, and then find the middle space. Spread out your toes. Let the hands go and feel your feet like they're glued to your yoga mat. Just feel that. And then stand up from there and bend a little and stand up from there. Push into your feet. Keep the knees out to the sides. Stand up, squeeze, down, stand up, squeeze. Just one more. Down, stand up, squeeze, and let go, shake it out. Quad strength, quad work, all that. Working these muscles right through here. Good. And then one more thing here while we're still here, a little bit of balance work. You can put a hand on a wall. Look up, chest up, belly in, right? Lean into one leg. Hands can be on hips or out to the sides and just lift the leg. Keep that bend of the knee and reach it back. And then bring it up and back. And up, reach back. When you're back, you're squeezing butt. Up, last one, squeeze back. I shouldn't have looked. And release, shake it out. Good, switch to the other side. Go on, squirrel. See, we talked about squirrels. There's a squirrel. Good, lift up, hold, squeeze back. Lift up. Oh, he's so bold because he knows I'm teaching and I don't want to stop. Lift up, squeeze back. Last one, lift up, squeeze back, whoo, hold, and release, shake it out. Go on, you little booger. Hold on a second. Go, 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 go. Okay, go on, keep going. He'll be back because he knows I wasn't serious. Okay, so you're up at the front of your mat. Open up the shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands to your blocks. Step back with your left leg. Front leg is going to go straight. Once you're stepped back, you can take those blocks to the higher level. Open up the shoulders, pyramid pose. Your back foot is either heel down, but toes forward, or the heel is completely straight. Either one is awesome. Good. Lengthen through the front leg, lengthen through the torso. So your right leg's forward. Bring your left foot or your left hand forward. Draw the chin back and just look to the right. Just look. Still okay, head, neck. I want you to extend the right arm up. Keep the head neutral and then maybe look up toward the arm and breathe. Good, release. Hand comes back to your block. Walk that left hand block back. Carefully step forward, step back. Or step back, step forward. Adjust your front hip. Draw the torso long. Walk the right block forward. Draw the chin in or the neck back, however it is that it works for you. And then just look over the left shoulder. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to take the arm up. 3, you're going to look at your arm. And it might not exactly be the arm. It might be the shoulder. It might be the ceiling. Release. Release that block. Step back a little bit and then just step forward with both feet. Come into a forward fold. Find your breath. Good. Come halfway up. Draw the head back against the wall. Step back with the left foot, this time not so long. So true pyramid pose, right? It's not a long step back. It's a shorter step back. The torso lengthens. Your hands are on your blocks. They're either high or maybe you take them down to medium. Lengthen the torso. Your left hand stays on your block. Look over to the right, tone the belly. Maybe the arm goes up, maybe not. Breathe. Release. Switch sides. Easy, easy, right? Switch sides. Belly tones, hips level. Look over your left shoulder. Take the arm up. Maybe you're looking toward the ceiling where you can see your arm. Keep the legs engaged. Release. Step the left leg back just a little. Step the right leg forward so you're back to forward fold. You can be halfway down. You can be all the way down. Just watch your backs. Be good to your bodies. Press into your hands. Bend your knees. Come all the way up to standing. Roll it out. All right, back to the front of your mat. You can set your blocks just to either side for now. We're going to kind of put a little bit of that together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway up. Bend the knees, hands to knees. Lengthen the tailbone as you lift the chest, chair pose. Find your breath. Your chair pose could be standing straight up, okay? So don't worry about the squat so much. Hands come to knees, hips go back, hands go to the floor. Soften your knees, step back, left leg. Find your breath. Turn your back foot to the side position. Blocks, no blocks, straighten your front leg. Find your breath. Your left hand stays on the block, maybe straighten the back foot this time and take the right arm up. Squeeze. It's like a reverse triangle, right? A twisted triangle. Breathe. Release that down. You're going to short hop your back foot up, pyramid pose. The blocks can go further. We're using our breath here, stretching out the hamstrings on the right leg, pushing through the back leg. Don't forget about the back leg. Find your breath. Good. Move those blocks out of the way. Bend your front leg. Step back. Downward facing dog. Oh, yeah. Stretch, stretch, stretch it out, everybody. Plank pose. Hold, 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 hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Listen up. You're going to lower that right knee. Kickstand it out. Lift your left, turn your torso. I knew that squirrel would be back. I guess I'm going to let him eat. Reach up, stretch it out. Maybe the arm goes overhead, head back. Look up at the arm. Find your breath. Good. Head neutral, arm up. Release. Both knees down. Little baby child's pose. Just stretch it out. All right, come on up. Down dog. Left foot forward. Right foot forward. Bend your knees, hands to knees. Press all the way up and roll it out. All right, I'm going to switch sides on my mat. I hope it doesn't throw you guys off, you gals off too much, just so I don't have my back to you so much. So you're back at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hands can land. Breathe, keep the shoulders open. You're either halfway up or you're all the way down. Good stretch, everybody. And then press halfway up. Bend the knees to sit back. Hands to knees. Tailbone lengthens as chest lifts, chair pose. Imagine squeezing a block between the thighs. Imagine pulling the heels out and away from each other. What is that doing to the legs? Breathe. Exhale, hands down. You're going to step back with your right leg. Nice big step. Straighten the front leg. Nice long pose. Feel that nice stretch. Your back foot, you can be on the ball mound of it this time. Right hand stays on your block. It can be up higher too, by the way, which does help. Look over your left shoulder. Bring the left arm up optionally. Squeeze the inner thighs to help with balance. Breathe. As you keep those knees pointing forward, it really helps with knee health and with quad strength. Exhale that hand down. Short hop forward, just a little one. The heel drops, the left hip rolls back. Here we are, pyramid pose. The chest lengthens down that thigh. Oh. Notice if your big toe, that front big toe wants to lift off. Just notice. Find your breath. Press up, lift up. Find your breath. Move the blocks out of the way. Bend your front knee to step back. Downward facing dog. I love down dog. Lower your knees to the floor. Kickstand out. Your left foot, left arm adjusts. We turn to the side. And we find this balance. Breathe. Arm goes up. Head back. Look up, take the arm over. Notice if that strains through the neck or not. I find that really helpful because often we'll turn the head with the chin forward and the neck muscles just don't like it. Good. Head neutral, arm up. Release that pose. Release your knee. Let's find child's pose or side lying pose, or come onto your belly. That's it. Just breathe, everybody. That's it. And from child's pose, come on up. Table pose to down dog. Down dog. Stretch it all out. Open the feet to the sides. Walk the hands back. Bend the knees. Come on up. Shake it out. All right, so just move the blocks out of the way for now. We're going to work on a little bit of balance work. So again, what I find in most poses, and especially if we're dealing with knee issues, is that the more we can keep the hips and the knees in that same plane, the better it is, as opposed to, you know, the knee turning out or the hip turning out. So just keep that in mind. So maybe the middle toward the back end of your mat. All I want you to do is step forward. And then step forward with your other foot. Step back, push off to step back. Switch sides, so step forward with the other leg. And forward, step back, push off to step back. So this is tricky, right? If we were standing and we walked backwards and forwards, that's all we're doing. But what we're doing here is stepping a little further. Easier to go forward for most, harder to step back. So let's do it all on one leg just to see how it feels. Step forward, push off, step back. Other leg, push. Other leg, push. Other leg, push. Again, easy does it. One more, both sides. And stop, shake it out. This time I'm going to step forward with my right leg. I'm going to pause, but I'm going to lean forward, take the other knee up. From here, I'm going to swing that leg back, squeeze the glute, squeeze it back up, step back, push back. I know, right? You can do this in much shorter steps, by the way, much shorter stances. All right, other side, left foot forward. Right knee lifts. Find your balance. Squeeze it back. Squeeze it forward. Step it back. Push off to step back. And you can see even with me, I'm stepping pretty wide. And so it's not as easy to push back off again. Same thing, both sides. Here we go. Right leg forward. Step up. Step back. Step it up. Step all the way back, push off. Last one, other side, left leg forward. Bring the knee up, woo. Bring that knee back. Bring the knee up, woo. Step it back, push off, and shake it out. Oh, I remember the first time a teacher had us at the back of the mat, stepping us forward. I'm like, that's not bad. And then she had us stepping back and pushing off. I was like, holy crap, that's hard. All right, shake it out. So what's all that got to do with yoga, right? Strengthening of the legs, strengthening of the hips, all that stuff coming together. So let's play with balance from that. Hand to a wall, to a piece of furniture, perfectly wonderful. Find mountain pose, tone the belly. Hands to your hips or out to the sides for balance. Stand on your whichever leg you want, lift the other knee. Ooh, find your balance. That means you got to find a still spot to look at. Hands go underneath your thighs. Open the chest, shoulders, bring the head back to alignment. Extend that lifted leg. Push the hands into the leg into the hands. Breathe, see if you can let go, arms up. Bend the knee, set it down, good. Shake it out. Let's go right to the other side. When you're ready, shift into your other leg. Bring the knee up. Hands go underneath the knee. I really like this, woo, as a transition, giving me some feedback on the hips. Straighten the leg, push hands into leg, leg into hands. Lift your chest. Release the hands. Woo. Bend the knee. Release, shake it off. So that's one, right? We were lifting forward. What was the other move we were doing? Lifting back. Same thing, if you want to be near a wall, one hand to a wall is awesome. All I want you to do. So a lot of times we'll grab a strap and all that. Let's not do that. Open up the shoulders, bring the head back. You're standing on one leg, just bend the other leg. Obviously at the knee. I was gonna say at the knee, but that's pretty obvious. Bring that knee back. Now you're in hip extension. Notice where the foot is. Bring the shoulder back. One, you're here, no compression to the knee. Two, you can hold the foot, stretching the quad. Push the foot into the hand into the foot. Take the other arm up. Dancer pose, whether you're standing straight up or you're leaning forward. Breathe. Good, release. Shake it out, okay? Makes so much sense, at least in my crazy brain. All right, let's switch sides. For me, I'm standing on that left foot, the chest is up, the head is back. Bend the knee, just see how that feels for you. Reach back with the hand, where's that go? Maybe the foot's right there, maybe it isn't, does not matter. If you can't reach the foot, don't struggle. Just take your hand to your hip and raise the other hand, okay? Woo, hamstring. If you can reach the foot, press the foot into the hand into the foot. Maybe you tilt forward, maybe not. Good, release. Shake it out. Good, come back to the front of your mat, find your blocks. Blocks are up high. Hands to blocks. I want you to just step back enough that you can drop down toward the blocks with nice straight legs. Now imagine squeezing that block between your shins. Allow the sit bones to widen. Don't collapse the knees in. One, you're here, nice long pose. Two, you're just going to tilt those blocks away from you to lengthen through the torso. Find your breath. Release the tilt of the blocks. If you were there, move those blocks out of your way. Fingertips come to the floor, downward facing dog. Just stretch it out. Lower your knees. Oh, come on down to your belly. Lower your head. Shake it out. And breathe. Good. Bend one knee and lengthen through the front thigh so that your whole thigh is on the floor as best you can. The foot is planted toward the ceiling, so I'm flexing my foot as if I could step on the ceiling. And all I want you to do is see if you can lift your knee up off the floor. So here we are in hip extension again. And in this pose, you can't add your back to it, not easily, not if you're keeping your hip on the floor. Whew. So feel the work involved in lifting that knee off the floor and then lower down. Release that leg. Bend the other knee, press down into the hip, lengthen the thigh. Press down into the opposite leg too. I didn't really mention that on the other side. And then just see if you can lift the knee. You might not lift it all, and if you don't, that's okay, but use the action that it would take to lift. So engage the muscles. Find your breath. Lower the knee and release. Last one here, bend both knees. Press both thighs into the floor. Press the front of the hips into the floor. Find your breath. 1, you're here. This is it. This is awesome. 2, you're going to lengthen your torso. Bring the shoulders back. Open the chest. Draw the chin in. Find the feet or not. Come into bow pose. Woo! Now, if you're in bow pose and all you feel is your lower back, let go of the legs. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Find your pose. Release. Oh, all the way down. That's it. You can tell I'm not moving very quickly from that one. Roll over to one side, everybody. And then roll onto your back. I'm like, oh, relief. It feels good just to not do anything. So come on to your backs. Oh. So many of the principles in yoga poses are the same throughout the different poses. And I always marvel at that no matter which way you turn your body, you can move into some of those same principles. So there we were on our backs doing bow pose, opening everything up, right? Here we are on our backs. If we were to do bridge pose, it's so similar to me. So what do, right? Already I want to press my shoulders into the floor and feel the chest lift before I do anything else. Maybe walk the shoulders under just a little to feel that chest move away from the floor. My feet are planted. My hands are going to come down toward my feet. Now, knee issues, keep the feet away from those hips a little bit more because it can feel a little compressive in the knees if we're touching, say, our index fingers or our middle fingers to our heels. So the shoulders are rolled back, the chest is lifted, the head is in alignment. Don't sink the chin. Press into the feet, lengthen the tailbone as you lift up. Here we are. Now imagine, right, if my fingers can touch my heels, it would almost be like doing bow pose, except for the head part, of course, and the shoulders. But as I press up and stretch the front legs, I engage the back legs, engage the hips. I'm opening up to this back bend in this direction, doing the same hip extension that we were similarly doing in bow pose. Maybe it doesn't make as much sense to you, but in my brain, I'm like, yeah, same stuff. Breathe, everybody. Press into your feet. Notice your length. Notice the stretches. The tailbone really lengthens here so you don't stay in the back. And then let the tailbone drop to the floor as you lower down. So you lower down with a slight arch. Release the shoulders completely. Turn the palms up. Let the shoulders soften. Find your breath. Now, some of you are going to stay here feet wide, knees center, and you know who you are based on me knowing who you are. The rest of you are going to take the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the sides. Okay. And whichever way you chose right there, soften into it. Soften into it. There's a small arch in the low back, just what would feel normal to you, but not tense. The legs are soft and relaxed, whether knees are in or knees are out. Find your breath. The head is neutral. The chin, those corners of the jaw that we talked about are just ever so slightly pressed back. As we neutralize the cervical spine, as we feel that motion of kind of a normal curve there. And place one hand on the solar plexus, on that third chakra that we talked about this morning. Place the other hand up closer to the heart. Take a deep breath in. And a big exhale out. Notice if it feels a little bit softer. Inhale in. And an audible exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Audible exhale. Use the hands. If the knees are out, use the hands to bring them both in. If your knees were in and feet were out, bring the feet in. Lift the hips, shift the hips to the left, just a little bit to that left edge of your mat. Draw the knees in, allow the knees to go to the right. Let's come into a twist. Remember, you can always put a block either under the knees or between the knees. And sometimes if my knees aren't close to each other, I'll just put a little soft fist between the knees, like a little spacer. And that helps stretch the hip, but not overstretch it. It helps keep it in alignment a little bit. Soften your gaze. And then consider, right? So the knees are to the right, the left arm is out to the side, the left shoulder is dropping to the floor. Draw those corners of the jaw back, that neck back, and then maybe look over to the left a little bit. Don't overdo it. Keep softening the left shoulder. Breathe. A lot of us will instinctively turn the head in this twist without kind of aligning the head. Bring the head to neutral. Top knee up, bottom knee up, feet to the floor. Shift your hips through the middle and then shift the hips to the right. Draw the knees back up toward chest and then lower those knees toward the left. Here we are on this side. And I don't often say this, but when you come into a twist, if that opposite shoulder is hanging, kind of where it feels lifted and hanging, bring the hand to your side instead. I don't care much for the hanging in that joint. So consider lowering the arm or letting it rest on your hip so that it isn't strained. And then same thing here, you can make a little soft fist between the knees just to get a little spacer. And then draw those corners of the jaw back, maybe take the chin over or take the head over to the right. And breathe. And feel that solar plexus soften and lighten and feel the breath deepen. And know that When the breath gets stuck or we get stuck in life, if we can just move, if we can do something different, often we can move through those periods. Head back to neutral, everybody. One knee, then the other knee to center. Your hips come back to neutral. Both knees come to chest, either holding outside or underneath. And then straighten one leg. Straighten the other leg. Let the legs be wide. Let the shoulders open up, palms face up, head neutral, belly neutral. And then either here or one hand at both of those places for that final Shavasana. Let the breath flow through. Let it come in, let it go out. No force. Soften the jaw. And as we drift into Shavasana, I'm going to ask you to do at least one thing today that brings you joy. And it could be anything. It could be playing music. It could be calling a dear friend or a grandchild. It can be writing. It could be reading a funny story, going outside and sitting and feeling the breeze, whatever it is for you. Promise yourself that you will do one thing that brings you joy today. So that the heart knows that you are okay. And allow yourself to get softer still. Feel your worth, feel your love, feel your ability to make a difference. Mm. When you're ready, everybody, start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Draw your knees to your chest. Rock those knees side to side. And slowly come on over to one side or the other. And as you're ready, press all the way up, coming to your seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Maybe release the breath and release the heart and do good things today. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. Hold on.